Have you ever had the experience where, after an incredibly passionate night, instead of feeling closer to your partner, you actually feel more hollow? As if you weren't a full participant, but merely an observer in someone else's dazzling show. If this resonates with you, then you have instinctively touched upon something profoundly important. Today, we're diving into a topic that is both incredibly sensitive and critically important: sex with a narcissist. We're going to break down 10 key distinctions that will help you understand what is truly happening behind closed bedroom doors. Stick around until the end, and you won't just learn how to recognize these red flags, you'll understand why they happen. I promise, some of these points will genuinely surprise you, and they may just open your eyes to your current or past relationships. Let's get started. Before we dive into the specifics, let's quickly clarify one vital point. Narcissism is not simply vanity or having high self-esteem. In the clinical sense, it is a personality disorder characterized by a desperate need for admiration, coupled with an absolute inability to feel empathy or compassion. To a narcissist, other people, including sexual partners, are merely mirrors reflecting their greatness or tools used to satisfy their needs. Intimacy, for them, is not a means of establishing an emotional connection. It's an arena for self-affirmation. It is a stage used to confirm their power, attractiveness, and dominance. Understanding this single, simple fact is the key to decoding everything that happens in their bed. Remember this: it is never about the two of you. It is always, entirely, about them alone. So, the first and most crucial difference is that it's a performance, not intimacy. Sex with a healthy, loving partner is a dialogue, a mutual exchange of energy and emotion. Sex with a narcissist, however, is a solo concert, a meticulously choreographed show where they are the undeniable star. They might be technically flawless, know all the right moves, and appear to be an incredibly skilled lover. But if you listen closely to your own feelings, you'll notice that the whole thing is utterly soulless. There's no spontaneity, no genuine connection. It feels like watching a highly produced adult movie where everything is perfectly calibrated, yet completely lacking in authentic emotion. You are merely playing the role of the adoring audience, while they are the performer waiting for a standing ovation after the final act. Imagine an actor who perfectly simulates passion, but the moment the director yells, "Cut!", their face instantly drops to total indifference. So, why does this happen? The simple answer is narcissistic supply. The narcissist doesn't need your body or your soul. What they truly crave is your admiration. Your reactions, your moans, your ecstasy, your awe. That's the fuel for their ego. They are not trying to pleasure you for your sake. They aim to pleasure you solely so you can confirm to them how incredible, irresistible, and truly the best lover in the world they are. In this dynamic, you are not a partner. You are merely a tool used to measure their own greatness. That's why the entire process feels like a performance. They aren't connecting with you, they are performing for you. And as soon as the act is over and the applause in the form of your orgasm or your praise is received, the curtain drops and the actor exits the stage. An emotional connection is simply unnecessary for them. In fact, it often just gets in the way. The second stark difference is the shocking, abrupt shift from being on fire to completely cold. During the seduction phase, and really the entire process, the narcissist can be unbelievably passionate. He literally love bombs you with attention and compliments. It feels like you are his entire world. He can spend hours talking about his desire for you, building an incredible atmosphere of anticipation and longing. In his arms, you feel like the most desired woman on the planet. This idealization or love bombing phase extends directly into your intimate life. He ensures you believe this is the best sex you have ever had, assuring you that you've never experienced chemistry like this before. This is blinding and creates a powerful, addictive dependency. You start believing you have finally found the one, the single person who truly understands and connects with you on a profound level. But this, of course, is only the first act of the performance. But the real giveaway, the second act that exposes the narcissist completely, begins right after the finale. The instant the performance is over, he flips a switch. All that warmth and passion, it vanishes into thin air as if it never existed. He might immediately roll over and go straight to sleep, grab his phone to scroll his feed, or just get up and walk away to handle his own business, leaving you utterly bewildered. There are no cuddles, no sweet nothings, no desire to simply lie there and savor the intimacy of the moment. Why? Simple. His mission is accomplished. He's secured his dose of admiration and the validation that he is irresistible. The show is over, the narcissistic supply has been collected, and you, the audience, are irrelevant until the next performance. This emotional whiplash, this ice-cold shower after the fiery passion, is one of the most painful and obvious signs that you are dealing with a narcissist. The third difference, often cleverly disguised as caring, is a deep focus on themselves, even when it seems like they are entirely focused on you. Yes, a narcissist might ask you countless questions about your likes. They can appear extremely attentive to your desires and will seemingly do everything possible to ensure you have a good time. From the outside, this looks like the ultimate level of devotion to a partner. Many people fall into this trap thinking, wow, they try so hard for me. They genuinely want me to be happy. But there is one subtle, almost devilish nuance here. All of this performative care has a hidden agenda, and that agenda is not your happiness. A healthy partner wants to please you because your joy genuinely makes them happy. That is empathy. A narcissist, however, has a completely different motivation. His motivation is purely seeking confirmation of his own mastery. Your orgasm for him is not a moment of connection. It's a first-place trophy. It's just another checkbox on his list of accomplishments. His inner monologue sounds like, I brought her to climax, therefore I am a sex god. He doesn't do it for you, he does it for himself, so he can hear you tell him afterwards how amazing he is. Your pleasure is merely another way to fuel his already inflated ego. How can you verify this? Pay close attention to his reaction immediately afterwards. He is fishing for compliments. He might directly ask, how was I? Am I the best you've ever had? If you don't offer effusive praise or outright adoration, he might get sulky, turn cold, or even become angry. He doesn't care about your genuine, sincere joy. He only cares about the performance review. It's exactly like taking a test for an A+. The score is everything, and the actual knowledge gained is irrelevant. Let's move on to the fourth point, the complete absence of what psychologists call aftercare, that essential tenderness and care following intimacy. In healthy relationships, sex doesn't simply conclude with the final physical act. It's followed by a crucial period of emotional connection, cuddling, kissing, quiet conversation, and the simple desire to be close and feel each other's warmth. This is when partners are often at their most vulnerable and open, and that gentle connection significantly strengthens their bond. With a narcissist, however, this crucial element is simply missing entirely. To him, aftercare is nothing but a waste of time. As we've mentioned before, he might simply roll over and fall asleep, or immediately get up to focus on his own agenda. Any attempt you make to prolong that moment of closeness, to hug him or talk, will likely be met with irritation or cold, flat indifference. The root cause of this behavior is his absolute terror of genuine vulnerability. Emotional intimacy, tenderness, and openness. These demand empathy and the capacity for deep attachment, traits the narcissist simply lacks. In fact, he sees that kind of mushy affection as a sign of weakness. He got exactly what he wanted: physical gratification and a boost of admiration. Period. The transaction is complete. Any further emotional investment is pointless and even dangerous to him, as it risks making him appear weak or dependent. That is why he retreats behind a wall the instant the physical act is over. If you consistently feel lonely and abandoned immediately after sex, this is an extremely troubling warning sign that you absolutely must not ignore. The fifth hallmark is one of the most devastating. The narcissist uses sex as a tool, a mechanism for control, reward, and punishment. In healthy relationships, intimacy is a natural expression of genuine feeling and desire. But in a toxic relationship with a narcissist, sex becomes currency, used purely for manipulation. For example, if you do something that displeases him, maybe you voice an opinion, disagree, or even pay attention to someone else, he will often punish you by withholding intimacy. He turns cold, distant, and rejects any attempt you make to reconnect. By doing this, he forces you to feel guilty and makes you believe you must earn his favor or affection. You begin walking on eggshells, terrified of making a mistake just so you won't be rejected again. Conversely, he might use sex as a reward. If you've been a good girl, praising him, admiring him, fulfilling his every whim, he might reward you with a night of incredible passion. This creates a dangerous mental association for you. To earn love and intimacy, I must completely submit and cater to him. That's classic conditioning, not a relationship. Sex stops being an act of love and becomes a tool of leverage. He pulls you closer, then pushes you away, creating emotional whiplash that is exhausting and destructive to your self-esteem. You are constantly kept in a state of uncertainty and anxiety, completely losing control over your emotional and intimate life. This is manipulation in its purest form. The sixth sign is a tendency toward risk-taking and the systematic violation of your boundaries. Narcissists get bored quickly and constantly require new, stronger stimuli to feed their ego. Sexually, this manifests as a persistent desire to try things that are new, extreme, and sometimes downright risky. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, provided both partners are truly on board. The problem with the narcissist, however, is that your desires and boundaries mean nothing to them. They will pressure you, coax you, manipulate you with guilt, or even accuse you of being a prude, just to get you to agree to something that makes you uncomfortable or that you find unacceptable. They perceive your no not as your right to choose, but as a personal insult and a direct challenge to their authority. He doesn't care about your comfort. All he cares about is chasing that next adrenaline rush and feeling completely in control of you. He might pressure you into threesomes, unprotected sex, filming explicit videos, or engaging in practices you find demeaning. If you refuse, it will be met with fury or a cold, calculated silent treatment. This is extremely dangerous. By constantly chipping away at your boundaries in the bedroom, he slowly erodes them in every other area of your life as well. Without even realizing it, you start agreeing to things you never would have tolerated before, causing you to lose yourself and your sense of self-worth. Remember this: in a healthy relationship, your no is the final answer. It is non-negotiable. In a relationship with a narcissist, your no is just the opening bid for negotiation. The seventh distinction is one of the most insidious, primarily because it's the hook everyone falls for right at the beginning. This is the mirroring of your fantasies. Early in the relationship, the narcissist transforms into the ideal lover, plucked straight from your wildest dreams. He listens intensely. catching every subtle hint, desire, and secret fantasy, even those you might have mentioned casually. He then becomes the precise embodiment of that ideal. Were you dreaming of a tender, sensual partner? That's exactly who he'll be. Did you yearn for raw passion and dominance? He will instantly transform into the most intense, passionate alpha. He literally scans you and reflects your deepest, most intimate desires back to you, creating the powerful illusion that you have finally found your soulmate, the one person who understands you without a single word. But here's the crucial thing to realize. This isn't real compatibility. This is cold, calculated marketing. He isn't sharing your fantasies. He's exploiting them to get you hooked fast. It is the perfect lure. He crafts an image that you fall for, and the second he knows he has you hooked, the mask comes off. The perfect lover vanishes into thin air, replaced by a cold, selfish, and deeply demanding individual. And you are left completely bewildered, scrambling to figure out where the man you loved went and what exactly you did wrong. This debunks the core myth: you didn't find your ideal partner. You encountered a masterful manipulator who simply mirrored your own reflection back to you just to bait the trap. The eighth distinction, which might seem minor but is actually very telling, is the constant, simply unquenchable need for verbal adoration. We're not talking about the sweet compliments loving partners casually exchange. This is about a persistent, almost demanding extraction of praise. During or immediately after sex, the narcissist will relentlessly pepper you with questions designed purely to confirm their splendor. Was it good for you? Tell me I'm the best. You've never had it like this with anyone else, right? Admit it, I am a god in bed. These questions can be repeated over and over, and they won't stop until they get a detailed, enthusiastic, and often dramatic response. This is not a manifestation of insecurity that you could soothe or reassure. This is a specific kind of hunger that demands satiation. Your praise is his food, his water. If you fail to deliver that dose of admiration or, God forbid, say something neutral, he will perceive it as a catastrophe, a direct insult. His mood can sour instantly. He might become cold, deeply resentful, or even outright aggressive. He might lash out, accusing you of being frigid or ungrateful. Remember this distinction: a healthy man genuinely takes pleasure in your well-being. The narcissist, however, only enjoys hearing you confirm how well he satisfied you. This is the crucial difference between mutual pleasure and selfish, ego-driven consumption. Point number 9 brings us right to the core issue: the complete absence of true vulnerability. True, deep intimacy is about much more than just the physical aspect. It's a safe space where two people can be completely open, authentic, and vulnerable with each other without any fear of judgment. This is the ultimate form of trust. With a narcissist, this kind of space simply doesn't exist. He will never truly open up to you. He might mimic vulnerability, but it is always just another performance designed purely for manipulation. For example, he might share some tear-jerking story from his past just to elicit sympathy and hook you even deeper. But understand, this is not genuine openness. It is merely another instrument of control. He is terrified of revealing his true self, his flaws, and his imperfections, because deep down he feels an overwhelming sense of emptiness and shame. His grandiose facade is nothing more than a defense mechanism. To let anyone look behind that facade feels tantamount to self-destruction for him. That is why, even when you are physically intimate with him, you may feel a deep physical merging, yet emotionally, there will always be a glass wall separating you. You intuitively sense that you can't reach the real person inside, that he is constantly keeping you at arm's length. Intimacy with a narcissist is invariably a one-way street. You open up, you give, you invite him into your heart, while he remains a closed-off observer who simply consumes your energy, offering nothing substantial in return. And finally, the 10th difference is suffocating jealousy and possessiveness, often mistakenly interpreted as true passion. A narcissist can be intensely jealous. They might subject you to interrogations, check your phone, and constantly monitor your communications. Initially, this can even feel flattering. You might think, he loves me so much, he's just terrified of losing me. But the true nature of this jealousy has absolutely nothing to do with love. To him, you aren't a loved partner. You are merely a valuable resource, a shining trophy that validates his status. His jealousy isn't the fear of losing you as a person, it's the fear of losing his possession and his source of narcissistic supply. He cannot stand the thought that his property might end up belonging to anyone else. This jealousy is inherently sexual. The mere thought of you being with anyone else isn't just painful for him, it's agonizing. It is a direct, visceral blow to his ego. It suggests that someone else might be better than him, challenging his supposed uniqueness and undisputed supremacy. Consequently, his intimate actions often manifest as territoriality. He owns you. This isn't the passionate love you read about in novels, it's the instinct of a possessor guarding his property. This kind of love starves you of freedom and air. It traps you in a gilded cage where you must belong solely to him, existing only to reflect his light and feed his bottomless ego. So let's wrap this up. What's the complete picture once we put all 10 of these puzzle pieces together? Sex with a narcissist isn't a duet. It's a one-man show with a captive audience of one. It's theatre where passion is just elaborate staging. Your pleasure isn't the goal, it's merely the obligatory applause they demand afterward. Here's the most shocking conclusion. The narcissist manages to weaponize the most intimate act, the one thing designed to bring people closer, and turns it into a tool for self-validation, absolute control, and resource extraction. They are not making love to you. They are consuming your energy, your time, and your admiration. It is crucial to remember this. If this description hits home for you, it is not about you. You are not broken, you are not good enough, and you are not doing anything wrong. You have simply encountered a person who is fundamentally incapable of true, deep, reciprocal intimacy. Thank you for sticking with this difficult but incredibly important video until the very end. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future deep dives into complex relationship topics. Now I have a question for you. Have you encountered this kind of behavior in your own relationships? Please share your story in the comments below if you feel comfortable doing so. Let's support each other.